Welcome back to the soccer universe. I'm with Fran and Jashish. We had a couple technical difficulties there, but we're good right now.
Yes. I'm back in New York City, so I think this is our first podcast back in the same time zone, right? Like of the new season. Not same, but not 9 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at
Uh,
least slightly more manageable now.
yeah, it is, and I mean, I have a very good idea. So at my apartment, wait, let me show you. I have like this good setup. So I was thinking right here, we could do a podcast once Fran's here as well, right here. So like it'll be one, two, three. It'll be a good setup, you know?
I think that's actually perfect. It looks like a sitcom setup.
Yeah. I'll be Chandler and y'all can decide who I want to be.
I think I'll be Joey. I think that adds up.
So Fran's Ross. Okay, fair enough, man. You didn't get a choice there. Uh, but yeah, football. Back to things that this podcast is about.
Something from which we deviate a lot.
Yeah, we really do. It's fine. It's all right, guys. It's all about the entertainment. Okay, let's start with our clubs. Arsenal.
I mean, it's whatever. Chelsea's a good team. What are you gonna say?
Brentford
It
is a
is-
great team as well. What are you gonna say? Just a new.
Yeah, at this point, Antonio Conte is available. He's just
Does he want to be Arsenal manager?
no, he
though?
definitely doesn't. But I think he's just waiting for a better job opportunity. But even at a certain point, I don't know, you can't sack Arteta midseason because then it's just gonna fall further down the table. But I don't really know. I think there's really zero game plan from here. Xhaka also couldn't be sold after publicly stating I want to leave. What else happened? I think that's the only chaos for now. But yeah, also Willian keeps on saying he wants to leave, even though we're trying to figure out how to get him out. There's no game plan from here.
With Arsenal, I feel like even first two games, y'all also slightly got unlucky. I'm not saying y'all were good either. I'm just saying y'all were still bad. But like with Aubameyang, Lacazette out for the first game, Thomas Partey out as well, Ben White injured for the Chelsea game. Y'all do have a lot of injuries. The thing is, I really want to. I still believe that Arsenal will finish top six. Like I'm not gonna. No. Okay, listen. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I feel like let's ignore the last two games. Arsenal, there is something there, right? There is something at Arsenal. I don't want to disregard. Okay, let's say 3 months in, they aren't in the top eight. I think that's when I'll be like, okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, it is early.
Right?
There's 36 more games to go.
Yeah, because I feel like for me, I don't want to flip over my logic yet. I think 3 months in, let's say around 10, not even 10, 15 games in, if Arsenal is not competing at top six, top eight level, then I will start reconsidering my stupidness. But
Okay, I think that's entirely fair. I think my predictions shouldn't be too far. Whatever. Did I predict them top four? No, I didn't. I think I had them 6 or 5. But I'm hoping that still pans out. The problem is there's really nothing to indicate that it will. And obviously I can make the excuse Chelsea's a good team, but if you're trying to make top six, you have to kind of overperform a bit. So I don't know. I would say fire Arteta, but I think that only leads to them really being a relegation contender. So I don't know what to say.
Who do you bring in if not Arteta? That's the issue, right?
Yeah, Conte won't come.
Because I feel like Conte won't come for sure, but then you need to think of one of the other Premier League managers who's with a smaller team and who has done overperform with that small team, right? And the one manager that does come to my mind is Graham Potter with Brighton. I think with Brighton, he has been slightly overperforming. But here's what I'm saying. If Arsenal sack Arteta and bring in someone like Graham Potter, you're kind of agreeing to the fact that we are a mid-table team, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really we could do that, but I don't see what really changes in the long term from that. It will still be back in the same situation. I don't see him overperforming compared to Arteta.
Do you think they're waiting for to see what happens with Vieira at Crystal Palace?
I mean, maybe, but is that really a good move for us? I don't think he's that. I don't have that high hopes for him as a manager, to be honest.
I agree. I feel like even with Crystal Palace, what I've seen is a team that doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's a
Why
good way to put it. I
Arsenal?
agree. They don't know what to do either. So why would you?
Yeah.
How does that match up well?
Or maybe Vieira knows. So like you get him in and then
I mean, I
Yeah.
could, with that argument, I could just say he's played Arsenal before, but like, I don't know.
What about the manager who won the League One with Lille last year? I mean, he did overperform with a very average team, and he moved to the new team. And then the first game of the season, he beat Lille 4-0. With his
Compared
new
to Potter and Vieira, that's something I would heavily consider. That's something I mean, not consider. I have no authority here, but that's something I'd heavily like. I don't know.
like,
At least back more.
but my thing is like what from Arsenal in the past 4 years shows you that this is an environment for managers to flourish in.
right. That's the
Nothing.
Yeah, why would you move there? If you're with Lille, you can be a hero, right? Or you already are.
Yeah.
You wouldn't lead there. Why would you move?
Arteta's done so like. I really don't know what he's proved besides that first like half season where he like came in and kind of just kept us like afloat, won the FA Cup. Since then, I know it hasn't been long, but since then, this club has just been fully crashing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm not convinced with him. And so I think you keep on trying managers until you find something that works. You can say Man U is not a place that managers flourish, but you finally found one that's starting to like put things together. I don't know. I think you just have to keep on I think it's a trial and error thing, to be honest.
I will say though that I have been defending Arteta for a while now, but the
Oh, bye.
Chelsea game was a little embarrassing because it
Yeah.
didn't look like the players had it in them to play against the Chelsea side. It
and
looked kind of like this is a friendly for us, but Chelsea went to win the league, so let's just let them beat us, you know?
Think about it. That Brentford was our first game of the season. Yes, we have injuries, but decent amount of the lineup is still in, right? The good amount of the core team is still in. I don't know. You're going against a team that hasn't played in the Premier League like ever, right? Or at least not. I don't know. They have no Premier League experience, and I don't know. There's no like excuse there. Injuries is not really an excuse. So, I don't know, in the first two games, Arteta's kind of showed that like it's time to make a transition soon. But like at
And
this
I
point,
mean-
it's literally like over the next 5 games, what do you do?
and you're playing City next, so you can't really expect it to get better. So
Yeah.
the
As raw as
first
the best I
three
can hope
games,
for there.
I would have, if I was an Arsenal fan in the first 3 games, I would have expected to have 2 losses, but not 3. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I would have expected Brentford to be an easy win, but they made a mess of it. I'd actually gone to a bar with Troops, the YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at a bar and he was there. It was a watch along and he was pissed. Like he was actually fuming. He like, get out of my club, get out of my club. You're fucking destroying my club. And
I can picture that very vividly.
yeah, and he was like there, and then at halftime, I was a little bit at the back. I was chilling with some other people, like random people I met. I went alone to the bar, so I met random people, and I was the only United fan, and all of these Arsenal fans were just crying. It was a very beautiful sight to see, but you know what? It's fine. But yeah, no. So he comes, and I mean, I ask him, "What do you think of the game?" He's like, "Just unacceptable." And he's short. Troops is very short.
He is. You wouldn't like. I forgot where I saw his height somewhere, but like you would not realize it.
Yeah, he's very short. Like I was quite surprised, but it's fine.
It's weird though. Against like whenever he like does like an interview with an actual player, he doesn't look that small.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they use. Maybe some forced perspective trick or something, but he always looks like he's like
Yeah.
kind of comparable.
Because like I was like, wait, he's not that tall. I don't need to move my head up. So yeah, I also, anyways, Arshit, you said that Manchester United finally found a manager that is making things work. The last game wouldn't suggest that,
I'm not saying he's not. Okay, I'm not saying he's making things work. I more mean it's putting things together, like compared to the previous, 3, right?
Right.
Whereas like with Arsenal, I feel like they're still in that stage of like try one. Like okay, you went through Van Gaal, then you went through David Moyes, went through next up is like a Mourinho, and eventually find like a guy who can start like getting us looking like okay.
The thing is, during the entire time when United was going through that like phase, we still had some world-class players in our team, right? Who would you classify as world-class in this Arsenal team?
I think we have a lot of like good players who've like shown to be very good in the past. It's more that, it's a functionally bad lineup. Like Lacazette had an impressive career prior. It's a club problem. Lacazette had an impressive career prior to coming to Arsenal. So did Aubameyang, and he had a couple good years before we eventually got to him too. I don't know. David Luiz has had his issues for a while. I don't think it's an Arsenal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no world class player. I think only Saka has the potential to get there, but this is not a lineup that'll enable that.
I would say I feel like even with Thomas Partey, right? Like he was world class at Atletico.
He was.
Aubameyang was world class at Dortmund. Lacazette was slightly world class at Lyon.
Yeah.
Odegaard showed glimpse of world class at Sociedad. He was pretty good at Arsenal.
Anything with Odegaard, I think we've given him the time to shine a bit more.
Yeah.
I think that's something we've done a little bit better with.
Nicolas Pepe, Hector Bellerin used to be world class at some point in time. So I think everyone, you had players that are they came here and they just, I don't know, dived.
Danny Ceballos looked great around Madrid prior to coming there or coming here.
Yeah, exactly. So is it an issue with like how can a player that was good at one place come to a different place and become worse, right? One, age. Two, I think there are only two reasons. I think one is age. Three. One is age. The second is injuries. And the third, I feel like, is the manager. If your coach is not good enough, you are going to get worse. If your system doesn't work, the coach doesn't identify what system to play, you're going to get worse. So it has to be one of these three things to blame, right? Or all of them.
I think the only players who've actually like come here and then like improved or like shown that they're like getting better due to like being at Arsenal is Kieran Tierney. I'd say I'm not even counting the young guys like Saka, Smith Rowe, or Martinelli, just because that's different. They're the academy people. But Tierney, I'd say maybe Gabriel, but he's always just kind of good. He already looked good before. And Odegaard, I think Odegaard definitely improved. So I don't know. Everybody else is kind of like faded off. Only Aubameyang was able to make himself only Aubameyang played like an elite striker for at least a year before it kind of faded away.
But the squad is salvageable though, right? Because a lot of the players are young and there's a lot of potential in them, right? There's Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, even Gabriel is a little young. So you have at least, I feel like, a spine for a team 2 years from now to be solid, right? It's just that right now you're still in that transition period with a lot of talents that shouldn't be there anymore, right?
I think it's a big thing of just getting like certain contracts off the books. I think Aubameyang were kind of stuck with that contract for a bit, but he's also still a salvageable player. There's only one bad year. I think with Willian, Xhaka, who we decided to give another contract rather than approaching a new midfielder, David Luiz. It's just so many players have kind of like eaten into our, I guess, like budget over the years that we can only kind of rely on young players to step up.
What about the recruiting in Arsenal? Because I like some of the guys brought in, right? Gabriel, Odegaard, that's good. Why did you bring
in recruiting? Sorry?
Why did you bring in Ramsdale this season?
Yeah, I don't think your priority towards the end of the transfer market should be a backup goalie. Leno's at least kind of established himself in this position.
And especially a $25 million backup.
Yeah. Like our priorities really in the right place, especially like with Ben White. That's good recruiting. He's a good young midfield or young center back. Is $60 million really the price for him? You'd argue the same thing for Pepe as well. And I'm thinking like our only signing that looked reasonable was just like Thomas Partey in like recent history and Gabriel. Like our recruiting isn't bad. Our academy players are good, and we have a good like young spine due to decent recruiting. It's just that we don't really sign any like stars anytime we splurge.
But even when you think about Odegaard, does he add much to this team when there's a plan in place for Smith Rowe to be the new number 10 in Arsenal?
No, he does add like a decent amount. I think with Smith Rowe, like you can't rely on him right now to carry this team. I think Odegaard needs that like you need someone to pick up the slack or at least like take some control now. I don't know. And I think Odegaard is someone who can either like if he steps up and he looks like a franchise level player, keep him. If he looks really good, but Smith Rowe is obviously better and he's just getting in the way of that, then you have a valuable player that you can sell. So I think there's really no like fault and like bring back Odegaard.
Yeah, actually Sambi Lakanga also looks decent. Like I see potential there, but I don't really know. Like I feel like if Arsenal had so much money, right, that they could have spent, they could have spent it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because I think they spent the most money out of any clubs in the Premier League, right, this season.
I'm hoping with like Ramsdale and like at least with that move, I'm hoping that we are angling to sell Leno in that case, which I think is a great player. But I think if they see that Ramsdale can be better, they know that like, okay, we need to get this wage off the books and like work with like a player who's younger, who might want to be here more. I don't know.
To be honest, Ramsdale isn't that great. I think Leno's better.
No, I think Leno definitely is better. I'm hoping that like this is very much wishful thinking. I'm hoping that they're seeing something that we really don't with the signing. But yeah, it is just having a backup goalie for 25 million.
Well, but Arsenal.
Enough of a such sad topic.
Yeah. I just got a notification saying PSG reject Real Madrid's 160 million bid for Kylian Mbappe.
Wow.
I also just saw that. Is it Romano?
Yeah, Romano and from One Football. So yeah.
You think Mbappe really like? I just don't understand the logic in like whatever he's thinking. Right? I understand you want to be the star of your team. You really can't have 1 year with just the best lineup of like all time. Like you don't want to reap the rewards of having pretty much free goals being given to you.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think
playmakers,
if I was Mbappe right now, I have no reason to not stay at PSG. One reason could be I'm in the shadow, but the thing is, both the players around him are the older one, like they're older than him. So he has this time to rack up his stats because he is going to rack up stats, right? And then he doesn't even bother about like carrying the team. He knows he'll win the Champions League if he stays here, right?
Yeah.
Like, if this team performs well enough, they can win everything out there. They can win a sextuple. So like, I don't.
He could be his most productive, like efficient, like self at this point. He could break or not break. He could like set like the Champions League or like win the Golden Boot in the Champions League, win in League One because you have the two of the best playmakers in the world. Both like you're in between both of them. He doesn't have to dribble much, create much. All he has to do is just get open. I don't think Messi and Neymar are like actively like hunting for goals. Like I don't know, like the way they were in like previous years, right?
I feel like Neymar, Messi, they even when MSN was like at its peak, right? Sure, all three of them scored a lot of goals, but Suarez won his European Golden Boot when MSN was at its peak. Why? Yeah. Because the main striker is always going to benefit when their wingers are so good, right? There are going to be so many more chances for you to score from. I also feel like this season we're going to see a mad number of goals from Gini Wijnaldum. Because Wijnaldum has always been the kind of guy who like runs into the box late and scores those annoying goals, right? I don't like the player, but you know what? I think he's going to get a lot of success in this club as well. PSG in general, I just don't think we should talk about it. Like I think they're a oil money club who don't care about the sport, only want to make some money, and they suck. They are terrible. I hate them. I hope Messi comes to United.
But come on, they didn't join the Super League last year.
Yeah,
that's because they played it smartly. I'll tell you, they knew it, right? When all the clubs would be like, "Oh, we're joining the Super League," they'll all get eliminated from the Champions League. Now they knew it. They need to win the Champions League. That's what they've been aiming for the last 10 years. If they have no competition, they won it. They were geniuses.
Yeah, but there's still some competition. And like
what, Lyon?
Lyon, West Ham?
No, not in France, but I mean for the Champions League. And a lot of teams.
I'm saying like if the Super League happened, who's their competition in the Champions League?
Leicester City. Jamie Vardy. No. Actually, I can see Leicester City beating PSG. Oh wait, no. But after watching the West Ham game yesterday, no. But you know what? I still can. But okay, no, that was just jokes aside. I think this PSG team is good. But I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a disappointment. I feel like they're gonna underachieve. Like,
I mean, I don't see how you can underachieve with a team like this, right? Because I think they signed a bunch of like overhyped players.
I think you can. I feel like because the manager is Pochettino, they can. Because you know, a man can leave Spurs, but the Spurs can never leave.
No, okay. You know what? I've given him so much crap over the years, but He's more than capable of handling this.
I hope so,
She's
bro. He
gonna hate
better
him.
be. If he doesn't win the Champions League with this, this Spurs jokes are
Can you
gonna be
imagine?
endless. Oh my
He's just go to Tottenham at that point. If he doesn't win the Champions League with them, I think both of them should just like decide that
Yeah.
we can just get through this together.
We'll not win the Champions League together.
No,
But
but
Spurs actually have started off very well. I think two 1-0 victories against Bulls and City, two difficult teams to win against. What do you think? Did you expect it? Do you think there's more to come?
I think it's the first two games of the season. Nonetheless, I think it just I think City always loses some random games to start of the season, and then they eventually pick it up. And
Yeah, I think last time they were like 13th, like 4 or 5 games in.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I think I still think City is winning the league, right? But with Lukaku, Chelsea would run them like very close. I wouldn't be surprised.
Lukaku, by the way, is the 20. I didn't even realize it's the 20th all-time league scorer or Premier League like scorer. I did not know he's that productive.
Lukaku is a beast, dude.
He really
That
is.
game against Arsenal, okay. The Chelsea guys don't even know how to play with him yet, and he was running that attack. He was incredible.
He's a top 3 striker, like locked, right?
Yes.
I don't think it's like a question.
Yeah, Lewandowski, him, and because we haven't seen much of Harry Kane, I can't really say who the third would be. So
Yeah.
But Lewandowski is also running the show at Bayern, so like
It's only Lewandowski that's
literally,
like,
like when Thomas Tuchel went in the press conference, he's like, "Oh, I asked for Josh. What are you doing?" Oh, okay. You can just ask for it.
Intermission.
Yeah. No, so no, what was I saying? Thomas Tuchel in the press conference went like, "Oh yeah, the board didn't back me. I wanted Lewandowski as the number 10 and Haaland as the other number 9, but they just didn't get him. We only got Lukaku."
so funny. He's just doing that to like just troll him at this point.
No, he was laughing throughout the entire time he was saying that. So I think it was a joke. It better be. There's no way. Imagine Lewandowski, Haaland, and Lukaku.
What's the point?
Okay, would you rather have
It's just
Haaland?
3 guys just.
Okay, Haaland, Lukaku, and Lewandowski, or Eminem?
Eminem.
Because with Haaland, Lewandowski, and Lukaku, that's just 3 HLL. It's just 3 guys charging into the box. Nobody aiming, nobody aiming to like pass or like cross it or anything.
Fair enough. I'll back that. Oh, wait, which game are you watching? Getafe versus Sevilla. Wait, the La Liga's on right now?
it's just halftime.
What game is behind him? I can't even tell.
I don't know either.
What?
What game is behind you?
Right. There's halftime in the Champions League game, so this is some other, I think, the highlights of Getafe versus Sevilla. Oh, what a save. Never mind. But yeah.
Would you like copyright strikes for this?
What?
Like a copyright strike for showing a Champions League game in the
Nobody
background?
watches our podcast.
We get a call from what's his name? Infantino personally.
Right.
It's fine. I was thinking though, right? Let's talk about the club that matters the most now, Manchester United. What do you think,
so
man?
let me give you a transition into that because you were disrespecting Mauricio Pochettino 5 minutes ago. Wouldn't you take him above the coward that runs Man United right now? Bro, we were playing Southampton, right? They have a 5-man defense. It's Southampton. Okay. He played with 2 defensive midfielders, 1 striker, and 1 winger. The team didn't make sense.
Can I ask how many times or how many like roller coasters of like, I guess, appreciation or like aggression are you gonna have against this man?
Oh,
No, so the other thing, right? Like with like the Leeds game, I think we said this, right? It's 1 game. Last time we beat them 6-2 as well. Like the Leeds game, we win that. Like our team works very well against Leeds. But
Isn't that like historical hatred at that point?
yeah, but the next game should have been easier to win. I made Bruno my captain in the fantasy Premier League. What happened? Why were we playing with 2 defensive midfielders in a team that will probably be battling for relegation?
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know. I think, and also I think he should have started Sancho. Sancho looked fit enough to me. He should have started Sancho, Greenwood, and okay, what's up with Martial?
Bro, in all fairness to him, he just came back off an injury, and this is not a viable formation when you have one striker and one winger and nobody on the left. Last year, everything ran down the left because Rashford was there, right?
Yeah.
So if there's no Rashford, we just play four midfielders and then nobody to play on the left wing. Like, this is not a formation. Martial didn't get a ball in the game.
Yeah, no, I and even like his instructions at halftime, I don't even know what substitutions, why he made those substitutions. I think in general, that game was just utterly poor. And I feel like that was the best performance Southampton can put forward and the worst performance United can put forward, right? And that's to back my statement that Southampton's getting relegated. All right. I still feel like this team, like this is the best they can perform, and I'm not even like exaggerating. The goal they got, it shouldn't have been a goal. It was a foul on Bruno, right? And we like a couple, and the one or two chances they had, other than that, were when Fred gave the ball away. So I think also Fred should not be at like he has one or two games like good games where we don't control the whenever we are controlling possession, Fred sucks because if he faces a little bit of pressure, he loses the ball. Right? He can win the ball back. He can make tackles. He puts in a lot of work rate. But so does I don't know Harry Winks. I don't know. Like let's be honest.
That's a fair comparison.
But yeah, it's just yeah. I'm not a big fan of Fred at all. I think we need a CDM, and this game just showed us that we need someone who can run the ball. You know, we can pass the ball, who can like someone like Busquets, someone like Fabinho, someone.
If you guys want a CDM, I can think of one who'll probably threaten to leave by
What?
if you want a CDM, I can think of one who'd probably threaten to leave by mid-season.
Granit Xhaka.
I think well, him or Thomas Partey. Actually, that's two. Yeah.
Oh, I take Thomas Partey.
I would take Thomas Partey. Yeah. No, I was thinking about it. And I'm like, which like Arsenal players would I take in United? And I'm like, probably Thomas Partey. Not even Saka. Like, sure, I wouldn't mind Saka for my bench, but you know.
Thomas Partey isn't even like he's good for us. It's just that like you don't see it because we have a terrible team otherwise. Like you don't his impact can't really show if nobody else is there to support him. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if by winter he's like, yeah, I want out of here. This is not what I signed up for.
Okay, so Archit, if from if you could take any one player from the other big six teams, right? Which player would you
from any big six team or like from each?
No, only one like in total out of the six. Which player would you want for your team? Like, let's say you bring that player in and yeah.
I need to think for a second.
What about you, Fran? Fran, who would be your one player from the Big 16 for United?
Well, I'm not gonna say Thomas Partey because Arsenal aren't in the Big Six anymore, right?
Oh yeah, that includes Leicester though, Archit, for you. So it's it's.
Is Ndidi still at Leicester? Or did he go to PSG?
Who?
No, he's still at Leicester, right? Ndidi.
Ndidi is still at Leicester, yeah. Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, he is.
And I'd put him in front of Varane and Maguire, and we'd have the best defense in the league.
You pick Ndidi out of any top six player? Like, assuming Leicester counts?
No, Leicester counts. Leicester and West Ham both count.
Yeah, they count more.
Why would you take a West Ham player?
Declan Rice is not bad.
Right, true.
Yeah, that's actually
really
good choice.
But there are better CDMs than Declan Rice in the Big Six.
Yeah.
But I think I would take Fabinho though. I think either Fabinho or maybe a younger Fernandinho.
A younger Fernandinho is like out of this world.
Yeah.
We have a lot of attacking mids, but Kevin De Bruyne, right?
Ooh.
That's just an easy choice for us.
No, but where would it would just be such a big issue if Kevin De Bruyne comes to United. It'd be such a huge issue. Like, where does he play? Bruno's not gonna want to let go of Cam. Pogba's not gonna want to sit on the bench. So I mean, what happens?
Actually, instead of De Bruyne, because I think we have a lot of playmakers, and obviously he's better than all of them. But I'm saying, like, I think we target our needs a little more specifically. Henderson or Bruno would actually be perfect for us.
Bruno
I think that
would
makes a
help
lot of
us out
sense.
so much.
Bruno or
Bruno-
Henderson, I think they're both like they're not the same player, obviously, but I think they provide like we need someone who can like actually shoulder the burden of being
To be honest, yeah, Bruno
at
coming
Arsenal.
like there was a huge mentality change at United. So you need a player that can
Yeah.
bring about that mentality. I
I
wouldn't
mean,
mind
what
Lukaku
player
at
can like
United.
turn this team around overnight?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Lukaku back at United, but I feel like Lukaku just isn't a United player. Like I don't know. I feel like
Don't say that. United isn't a Lukaku type.
okay, okay, United isn't a Lukaku team. Like no,
Yeah, we don't deserve him. He's the best striker.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I don't understand how a medical team did not figure out that he has a food like health disorder. Like, come on. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world and you can't figure that out. One of the 75 million striker is not healthy and you can't figure that out. Like,
he's been a world-class striker every single team he's played at.
other than United.
Like it's
He's still a United.
in Belgium, Everton, Chelsea, Inter Milan. He's proved it at so many different stages. It's just United that it's like, oh, like the fans hate him or like the fans have criticisms for him.
Yeah.
But the thing is at United though, right? He still scored 28 goals in his first season, which is
Yeah.
better than anyone before him, like in the post-Fergie era. So wait.
It is like media narrative wise, Lukaku got so much shit at United, but like he's
I
still
feel
a
like
great player.
It's a very difficult ask to play at United as well. Because
Yeah.
like you make one tiny mistake, and not only the fans, I mean, we dig our teeth into them as well, but the media really it really destroys you. Like I am scared that let's say Sancho Varane have like one like bad game, because I'm sure they'll have one bad game. Like they're going to have a bad game. Varane will have a bad game. Like you can't have a player who doesn't have a bad game. Not everyone's Virgil van Dijk. So I think if they have a bad game, I'm scared the pundits are just gonna rip into them, and I don't know.
Do you think
No,
Sancho? Do you think Sancho would get that criticism? Because the English media loves to dig into foreign players, right? But the British players.
The English media also likes it. The English media also does like to dig into their own players too. Like it's not like look at Raheem Sterling as like your first example.
But then again, over there, there was, let's be honest, there was a racist motive over there because I feel like when with Raheem Sterling, even like the kind of the reasons he faced criticism for that was just stupid, right? Like buying a house for his mother. That was one thing he faced. I mean, come on.
So my thing, what I'm pointing out is that who's to say, just like if Raheem Sterling didn't have to deal with it, who's to say Sancho after a couple of bad games, English media doesn't like tear into him as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Varane has the mentality to like face the criticism and like move on. Because I mean he's been there, he's done that, you know.
Varane has played in Madrid for like 7 years.
And Madrid is equally bad. Madrid fans are worse than United fans.
Oh, yeah.
They probably are worse, yeah. They're more critical, and Varane dealt through it all and like for the most part stepped up.
And let's be honest, he is going to be the best defender we have the club. At Madrid, he wasn't the best defender at the club. So United fans are going to love him. I think fans, I don't think either Sancho or Varane are going to have an issue. But I think it's the media. I'm not sure about that. Like they like finding a dramatic, like not some drama.
With Varane, I think it will be a little bit frustrating because like he has those moments where like, you know, he just completely like just goes blind for a second, someone gets past him, or he like turns it over without realizing. It's not often. Usually like he's amazing. On the other hand, he'll be chasing down every like single winger back like into the box and like, you know, clearing it out. But he has those moments where he makes like easy errors, and United fans will skewer him for it.
Yeah. No.
Look at Harry Maguire's treatment in the media constantly, or not in the media, but like from fans on like social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, from social media.
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire makes one error, and he's.
I actually like. I don't know. I love Maguire. I feel like okay. I don't like the fact that he was worth 80 million. If we bought him for like 45 or 50 mil, I think people would love it.
What I'm saying is he's one of your most important players, yet your fans will like grill him for a full like month if he makes one error.
Most people really do make a lot of fun.
Like people on Twitter think Harry Maguire is like David Luiz.
I hate Harry Maguire. I think David Luiz is a better.
You're biased because you're biased to David Luiz for obvious reasons, though. Come on.
Yes, of course. But like, well, but still, David Luiz was in the 7-1, you know. So like,
Okay, but so are like all of your best players. So
No,
is
Neymar
Marcelo.
wasn't there. Thiago Silva wasn't there.
Virgil van Dijk was in a 7-2. What are you saying?
Lionel Messi was in an 8-2. It's whatever.
But Virgil van Dijk is here. Harry Maguire is a mediocre guy who's pumped up to be like the best English defender.
Okay, wait.
But
think it's the-
he is the
Wait,
best.
it's the opposite with Harry Maguire. He's a pretty good player, a very good player, not an elite player, just very good, who gets like downplayed like he's, I don't know, like what's his
Phil
name,
Jones.
Mustafi.
I think he's become Phil Jones. Like, bro, come on.
I think he gets so much unneeded slander, to be honest.
Okay.
The thing is, in England, right? There aren't really many good English defenders. Like, I don't think any of the English defenders are world class, right? But Maguire is the closest. That's what my argument is.
World class is very much a stretch. If you played FIFA, you know how different it gives from a world like elite to world class.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like see, John Stones sucks. Mings sucks. Ben White. No, like sucks in the sense like if you're comparing them to elite players, they are just average. They're bang average.
Yeah, but Maguire is just a little better than them.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I think he's worth 40 million.
You
In the
need that,
current market, he's worth 40 to 50 million. That's it.
Wait, if Ben White gets bought for 60 million.
Ben White is not worth 60 million.
Yeah, just both these clubs are idiotic. I don't know.
Ben White is not worth 60 million, not in any universe.
Okay, Virgil van Dijk is absolutely worth that 75 though, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna he's probably worth like 90 to 100 at this point.
90 probably, yeah.
So with that being the benchmark, Harry Maguire is what? Like I think 50 to 60 million.
50. Bang. Like
25.
he's half of what Virgil van Dijk is. I know.
Okay, so given that Gabriel, he was bought at I think is a very good price of 25, right?
Yes.
Virgil van Dijk bought at 75, which is honestly a steal, worth 90 to 100 at least, I think. And Koulibaly would in those years always get room for like 80 million. With all those benchmarks in mind, what's a good price point for Harry Maguire?
I mean, I think I would say, I mean, Ben White is not worth 50 million. I think you guys discussed this.
Okay,
already.
we've covered that. We know.
I'm
well aware.
I would say Maguire, given his price, he's worth given the transfer market right now, I feel like he's worth 60 million.
Thank you.
I do agree with you, yes. Based on Ben White, who doesn't even start for England, being worth 50 million. I mean, in this market, Van Dijk should be worth 100 million. But the market's just too crazy to like. But Harry Maguire.
Ryan got 50 mil, by the way.
I don't think Harry Maguire is the best, but he's still England's best center back.
Which is not saying much, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not, but like the market's really inflated, isn't it? So like,
yeah,
you can't. I don't know. It's hard to say what price he's worth. Like, given the market now, probably he's worth what he's worth right now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, given the market, I think you're right. I would much rather have Gabriel at United than Harry Maguire.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Are you saying Gabriel for 25 million over Maguire for 60 million, or just Gabriel absolute over Maguire absolute?
No, if we could get Harry Maguire for 25 million, I take that. But I'd rather have Gabriel at 25 rather than Maguire at whatever.
Got it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, obviously this is not something that I consider worth 60 million, but I think there are certain intangibles that Harry Maguire brings that Gabriel might not to a team that like Arsenal needs that kind of leadership, right?
Sure.
It's obviously that alone isn't worth like the extra 45 million, but like I don't know.
Right.
I think it is worth factoring that in.
Jesus Christ. All right, fair enough.
Stop talking about the Simon too. I do not want to hear you.
Oh my god. But yeah, I have something to share with you also. There's a certain date, very important date, 24th of October. All right. That day is one of the greatest days ever. So there's India versus Pakistan, a cricket match, which is wild in itself. Then there is an F1 race, the Texas one, the US Grand Prix, which is again great. Then now is the one that matters the most to you all. United versus Liverpool, PSG versus Marseille, El Clasico, Juve versus Inter, Bayern versus Dortmund.
Jesus.
All on the same day.
It's a day full of violence.
It is a day full of violence.
Mostly from the cricket match.
I'm actually seriously gonna like keep like a festival at my day. Everyone come in, the game's going on. 1 year, one there, 1 year.
It just ends with dudes just like fist fighting.
Fighting with each other. Because imagine it would be such a because it starts at like 9 in the morning, and then the race, like by the time it all gets over, it's like 7 in the evening. So it's like a proper day.
Wait,
sport.
Wait, Yashish, for the India-Pakistan match, what like competition is it?
The T20 World Cup.
Oh, are you serious? Okay, yeah, it's gonna be an electric game.
It's a huge game. It's not like
okay. One thing is we're definitely watching that, but do you think that's the most competitive or like most intense sports rivalry?
Sports rivalry.
I think that is.
That it probably is because I mean India and Pakistan have been in 4 wars, and for some reason that animosity between us regarding the wars has translated into sports now. But when it comes to on field, my lighting is so like whoa. When it comes to on field, everyone's very respectful. Like the India-Pakistan players never really fight much. Right, it's a.
I think they know that if they do, it's gonna trigger a lot of like problems, right? And everyone involved. Right. I think they know that if they start because like Yankees, Red Sox, there's always brilliant fights in both the stadiums and between the players, and then but they know there's not like some wide impact of it. Like no, all of New York and all of Boston are gonna fight each other, right? But they know if those two like teams fight in game, it's gonna trigger a lot. I'm sure their PR people and everything tell them not to.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because the thing is like the implications of like a fight breaking out in India-Pakistan match is not only like it's wild scale on a political level.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas a fight breaking out between Arsenal and Chelsea, it's nothing. Right? It
all of London just gets into a war, like Peaky Blinders or something.
Civil war between Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans.
I can see that happening in like the 20s or something. I've been watching a lot of Peaky Blinders, and that's the kind of stuff it is.
So yeah, I would say yes. It probably is the most like intense, like passive intense as well. Like you can see the fights. It's actually mad. But I would say like if we ignore that, let's say like ignore India versus Pakistan, like what would you say is like the most like because Arshad, you follow a lot of sports, right? So you probably know a lot more like which rivalries are like intense.
I'd say El Clasico because it also has political ties as well, is up there. And like, how many rivalries have like animal heads being thrown and like all this crazy stuff happening. But so that's up there. Yankees, Red Sox is up there, but I don't think people like aggressively fight over baseball these days the way they used. Like in the 90s, I could see people like fist fighting over it. But Bears, Packers is pretty big. It's just fat Midwesterners going at it. What else? I think those are the main ones. And Lakers, Celtics. But like again, it's not intense as much as it is. It's more like a basketball prestige thing.
Lakers got Westbrook, right?
Yeah.
That's a big deal, I think.
Yeah, they Westbrook, Melo, LeBron, and Anthony Davis.
Do you think
they're gonna beat your Nets this year, Yashish?
No, they won't.
No, both teams are gonna lose to the Knicks this year.
Okay? Durant got smaller shoes. Now we're gonna win the thing. But yeah,
let me give you some rivalries here in Latin America. Starting off, Corinthians, Palmeiras. This is like a dangerous one. People have died over it. A lot of people.
Oh damn! Yeah.
Jeez. But then there's Boca River, Boca Juniors, River Plate in Argentina.
Oh wait, wasn't the one where Marcos Rojo started beating up people?
No, this was a random.
That's a random thing. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. But imagine that
happened.
Imagine that like square. That's Boca River every time they play.
Oh,
when they played in the final of the Libertadores, they couldn't get into the stadium because the fans were bricking the bus.
Oh wow.
Of the team. Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's not like it's violent.
Damn. No, so Matt Damon, the actor, do you know Matt Damon?
I knew you were gonna mention this because I was just thinking about
it. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead, but I was just thinking about that as you're saying it.
So he was with his girlfriend, I think down in Brazil, right? And I think he went for
Argentina,
Argentina, yeah, sorry, down in Argentina. And I think he went for a Boca Juniors game. And like, so he told, like, he asked his like father-in-law, I want to go for a game. And his father-in-law, like, all serious. He's like, okay, no children, no women, just the two of us. Right? And he's like, okay, I mean, all right, cool. So they go, and there's like flares, there's like people fighting, there's like police all over the stadium. And he's like, he's never seen anything like that before. And like, while even leaving the game at the stadium, the atmosphere was unreal. And even while leaving the game, like there were like fights breaking out all over. And so I can't even imagine that. Like, honestly, India Pakistan, that doesn't happen, because I feel like, oh, like that would have happened like 20, 30 years ago, but now like it's subdued a lot as the
Yeah.
generation has passed. So that when I read that, I was like, oh shit, that's actually wild.
I added that to like my bucket list as soon as I was reading. I was like, this sounds like electric to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta go to Brazil and to Argentina.
Argentina.
Imagine trying to fund a sports spectrum trip to Argentina.
Oh shit! Wait, do you get funded? Like, you must be getting funded some amount, right?
I actually got the email to apply for the budget today, so I have to do that like after this. But again, it's a budget that's meant for like, hey, buy some pizza for the meetings. I think we'd have to get like all of it together would probably get us like 2 tickets to like Argentina, I imagine.
Ah, that's pretty good.
It'd be a really corrupt move. I can't fully deny that I'd want to do it, but like
No, but you can, like, you must have enough tickets, like enough money, like in your budget to buy tickets for like people who want to go for, like, I don't know, baseball games, football games, and stuff like that.
yeah, no, that's obviously there. And but the concern there is also like, does NYU want us to be doing like, do we want to be facilitating like in-person events and stuff, especially as the Delta things pick up? But I'm not sure. I think that I'm trying to get as many stuff together, but we have to see.
Right. See, I'm a member of the sports spectrum. So if you ever really, plan anything, I'm always there.
Of course. Did you miss the at the very least just 2K tournaments is the goal.
What?
At the very least, just like 2K and FIFA tournaments if they don't let us do in-person stuff.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh shit. But what else? Oh, Cristiano. Yes, I was like, what else was on my agenda?
Cristiano Ronaldo's at the point in his career where he's getting offered.
Yeah, and okay. So let me just state the news and then we can talk about it. So from what I've heard over the last, none, like, all these like resources are kind of reliable but kind of not. Like, it's like the sources are not no, it's not Fabrizio Romano. It's people like Sky. It's like Sky Sports and stuff that they just pick up on rumors as well, right? So there are rumors that in the latest game, uh, Ronaldo asked to be sat out. Like, he wants to be on the bench because he's trying to get a transfer out. And recently I read today in the morning that Manchester City is apparently trying to get Ronaldo, and Ronaldo is trying to facilitate that move to City. But then there was also that rumor about him, if Mbappe does end up going to Madrid, then Ronaldo will be PSG's next target to replace, well, Mbappe. So we would have fully finished the manager career mode, at PSG. um, and okay, so what do you think of all these like rumors? Do you think there's any basis to it? And if let's say they're true, do you think that it makes any sense for Ronaldo to have this to be happening?
Can I just say one thing before we like fully get into like the like just how we're gonna like map out where Ronaldo would go? I really do think in the past like 4 years in terms of sports and entertainment, Nike has been at war, and there's a reason I'm explaining that. I don't know if you've seen all the past months of the Drake and Kanye stuff going on, but so much of what led to this like little beef has been like, I remember when Drake was like, "Oh, don't wear like 350s, checks over stripes." Like, it's this weird like subtle marketing, and now that they're having this weird whole beef thing going on, you can tell there's some promotional thing behind it. There's also recently a speculation that in 2017 when KD joined the Warriors, so Under Armour had the most like marketable star, and Nike had no stars on the most like marketable team in the league. And their idea was, what's one way to kind of deflate Under Armour's like expansion, have KD go for a minimum deal to the Warriors, and the idea is that, hey, we can cover that cost ourselves in terms of shirt sales, etc. And so I feel like this is only a part of that. I think they know that, like, you have Neymar already there. PSG is sponsored by Jordan. Ronaldo there is the only other way to kind of like really put like really kind of subdue Messi's like Adidas like promotional like whatever benefits they're gonna get. just a random thought point, but that's just like speculation. That's like with all these things that have been going on the past couple of years, that Nike is literally just like playing like a Disney in terms of like entertainment and sports right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I buy that. I like that. I buy that.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about this recently, and I saw the Warriors thing, and I'm watching the Kanye news, and I'm like, I'm very sure that like someone could write like a report on this and like piece that together.
Okay, so let's say Ronaldo is actually available. He actually wants to leave by Juve, and Juve actually wants to get rid of him. Is it a smart move for either City or PSG to go for Ronaldo? Now that's the
Yes,
Yeah.
obviously.
On money alone, I mean.
Someone was like, I saw on Reddit, someone's like, oh yeah, I can see why City wouldn't want to take Ronaldo on big wages. You know, he doesn't fit their style of play. It's like, come on, he will definitely adapt to their style of play. It's like, I don't know.
but
Also, like, this is not a 40-year-old player at the back end of his career. He had the best Euros out of anybody, you know, like he's still very good.
yeah,
I don't know about the best Euros out of anybody, but like,
but he can
I don't
still
know.
He's one of the best players.
He's still one of the most like statistically efficient players in the world, right?
Yeah, he is. He's still like, if you create chances for him, he's gonna score goals. Like he's that kind of player. Like he still makes the runs. He's still very quick. He's still very fit. So he's not a typical 36, 37-year-old. You know, he's not. What do you expect?
Keep in mind, he's like a year or two, or like a year maybe younger than Andre Iniesta right now.
Oh wow. So yeah, it's I think okay. The main question: do you think any of these rumors have any like substance to it?
Do you see his like Instagram post? He had this whole essay where it's like these rumors are disrespectful, blah blah blah. At no point, it was like 4 paragraphs. No point did he ever say, "Yeah, I'm denying this," or he didn't even mention Juventus at all. He mentioned Real Madrid. He's like, "Oh, I'll probably not go back there," but he didn't mention Juventus in like any of it, and he never denied any of it. He just posted a picture of him just doing this in black and white in a four paragraph essay, not denying anything. So I think he's very aware that like, I think there's definitely some substance here. I think he knows that people are catching wind of it, and that's why he's trying to like subdue it now.
I feel like with Ronaldo, for me, it makes sense if he wants to go to PSG or City. Like if I'm Ronaldo, you see this Juventus team, it's not that great, right? And he is, I mean, regardless of what we just said about his age, he is reaching the end of his career. He wants to win the Champions League before he leaves, right? He wants to get a Ballon d'Or before he leaves. Now, to be able to do that, he needs to be able to be in a team that can facilitate that, right? And the two teams that can not only afford him, but also facilitate the Champions League pathway for him, and possibly a Golden Boot, possibly a Ballon d'Or path for him, are City and PSG, right? So I think if I'm Ronaldo, I would actually be trying very hard to go to either of these two clubs.
Does Man City want him though? Like,
supposedly they turned down the offer.
Yeah, but like, because I mean, okay, a lot can be said about Pep and everything, but I don't really see him bonding well with Ronaldo, because it's kind of the Ibrahimovic move, you know? When Ibra went to Barcelona, the egos kind of clash, and then the style is a little bit different. Sure, Ronaldo can adapt, but like, I just don't see how
but they have all the right personnel for a guy like Ronaldo to just slot in and thrive, right?
That's true.
And you'd think that they're both, you know, driven enough players and coaches. Like they both want to win a Champions League as bad. Like there's a lot of pressure on them to do so. I think they both know that like we have to make this work, and we very well can.
That one of these stupid journalists will ask Pep in a post-match interview. So now that you work with Messi and Ronaldo, who has been the better player for you? I can already see
immediately.
Like all of these like stupid questions being asked to Pep, and like,
that's also not a fair question to Ronaldo, because I feel like 37-year-old Ronaldo in Man City versus Messi with like Xavi and Iniesta, etc. I don't know. I think it's very different players at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know, but it's I feel like it's like what 1 or 2 weeks left for the transfer window shut, right? I don't see Ronaldo going anywhere. I feel like it's too late, and I just like that. No, none of the reliable sources like Fabrizio Romano, Jan Argforte, or Sam, any of those guys. None of those guys are actually saying anything substantial about it. All they're saying is that nothing's actually happening. There are rumors, but that's about it. Nothing is like happening. So
I think it's very possible that like he's angling for a move, but any club trying to sign him knows that it's gonna be really tough to like. I don't know what Juve's gonna demand for him, but it's gonna be really tough to like. They're gonna want to make recoup some of what they paid for him. It's also a massive salary. It's like a massive just commitment to like being a Ronaldo club. I don't know.
And Ronaldo has never moved after the season has started, right? He always moves right at the beginning of the transfer window. So it'd be weird for him to like uproot his whole family when the season has started. I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
Also, by the way, you mentioned the Ronaldo like asking to be benched thing. It's insane that he came on like in that game eventually, and then he had a goal, he had like a winning goal disallowed because his like elbows offside.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just such a hilarious sequence of events. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very good. I agree. But yeah,
Having said that, if you wanted to move to Man United, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
I would.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, no, if he comes to United, imagine. But I know for a fact, he'll again play Ronaldo, Greenwood, and then 5 midfielders, and then he'll play 5 at the back against Norwich City. I already know it.
Ole would just have the weirdest lineup set up for him.
No, but I think it'll be Ronaldo. But yeah, no. I feel like I would love to have Ronaldo at United.
Cristiano, meet Harry and Fred. These are your new co-stars. Yeah.
Ronaldo comes like, I remember some guy Phil Jones used to work here, and then Ollie goes like, wait, what? He's still here? Did you say Donny Van de Beek? Wait, what? He's still here?
Wait, they still have Phil Jones?
Yeah, we do. No, sir. The reason why Varane's announcement took so long was because Varane wanted the number 4, right? But Phil Jones has the number 4, and he refused to give it up. So Varane has number 19 now.
Good for you, Phil Jones. I like that.
Wow, really held his ground.
But I feel like, Phil Jones right now is probably just like, I feel like he's past feeling bad about all the jokes and stuff. I think now he's just enjoying the fact that he doesn't have to work for and he's still earning buttloads of money.
He just chill on the bench, make money. He's at Man United. Like,
he doesn't even sit on the bench. He doesn't come to the stadium.
Yeah, he doesn't even make the bench.
He doesn't even come.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not even present anymore?
No, because he's not named in any of the squads. Because our other, we have, I'll tell you who are defending options, like centre-back options now. We have Varane, Maguire as starters. Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Teden Mengi, and Axel Tuanzebe, right? And then we'll probably have some more guys, and then there is Phil Jones. Like Phil Jones is like bottom of the pile right now, so he doesn't even get called up to the squad. He doesn't play for reserve, nothing. He just chills. He earns like some 100-200K per week and just chills.
Sounds like the perfect life.
Yeah, it kind of like is like I think it kind of is like
because then being a backup quarterback.
And now that he doesn't play, he's also away from all the scrutiny and stuff, right? Like think about it. Because like when he was playing, he made a couple mistakes, he made some faces, and he got made fun of, right? But now he hasn't played in like 2 years. No one's talking about him, right? So he's happy.
No one cares about Phil Jones at this point. Harry Maguire kind of like took all the slack off of him.
But yeah, I think. So would you rather be, let's say, like Phil Jones, or like? Would you rather be like the worst player in a very good team, or the best player in like a team that's in the League 3? Not League 3, but like like in Championship. But like a very I
think being the best player in a championship means you can eventually angle a move to be the worst player in a big club. I feel like, right?
What about League 1? What about League 1 then?
Oh, I'd be the best player on a team in League 1. That's fine. Like, come on.
Not League 1. League 1.
Oh.
The third division of English football.
I was like, League 1 isn't that bad. You'll play against Messi one day, like.
No. League 1.
How much do I earn in a League 1?
I don't know. Like in League 1, you'd probably earn like
at best
5,000 pounds. 5,000 pounds a week. Let's go.
Yeah,
5,000 pounds a week.
That's a good amount of money. That's like a good salary. We're so desensitized to like Ronaldo and Neymar salaries. I don't realize that.
$2,000 a week. Let's go with that.
Bro, I'd still take £2,000 a week.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Divided by 7 times.
20K.
That's 104K a year. This is a good salary.
That's a
great
very good salary.
Yeah, and I'd be the best player. Like everybody in my nearby county just loves me.
I love that. Are you kidding me?
It's a great lifestyle. Yeah, instead of being scrutinized and living in Manchester, like
Away from all the scrutiny, but yeah, fair enough. I'll take that as well. Yeah.
I think under that though, I'd rather just be in Man U and just coast. I think under that, like League One, like had a sick position, then otherwise I'd just rather be in Man U, just like relaxing.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think we've covered everything we want to, have we?
I mean, if everything we want to is just Man U and Arsenal, then yeah.
No, we said a couple of things about PSG, Messi.
No, I'm joking. I'm
Mbappe.
joking.
We said a line about Real Madrid. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Is Harry Kane gonna leave or is he gonna stay?
I don't
Harry
think
Kane
so.
and Ronaldo both need to go.
So I
Fair
feel like
enough.
only one of them will get a transfer. I think it's either
Yeah.
Ronaldo or Harry Kane.
Oh wait,
they-
imagine if Spurs go to Juve and say, we'll trade you Harry Kane for Cristiano Ronaldo. And Juve is like, yes.
I would hate that so much. I would despise that. There's nothing I'd hate. There's no transfer I'd ever hate more than that one move right there. I'd hate that more than like, I don't know, like Fabregas leaving, like Henry leaving. Like I'd hate that more than anything.
Wow.
That's just awful. That's awful for like the sport.
Yeah, no. Ronaldo at Spurs is just sad. Like imagine,
Disgusting.
like Ronaldo's last 5 years were bigger than Spurs' history.
Yeah, that's. I mean, a lot of players could say that. I think Angel Di Maria could probably. No, I'm joking.
Every time you say Arnold Di Maria,
Gareth Bale's last 6
I
years
remember
are bigger than.
I remember this one quote where Arnold Di Maria said that he's when like you're trying your best all the time and you're performing very well, but it really sucks when you get connected to. No wait, it really sucks when you get connected to Spurs. Rumored to go to Spurs when you're performing your best. Something like that.
You use Ronaldo as a benchmark, right? Luka Modric's last like 3 years have been like 10 times bigger than Spurs history. 3 years. I mean that seriously. That's a Champions League, it's a league title, and it's a World Cup.
Bro,
like,
Jorginho's summer has been.
You can say that about so many players, not just Ronaldo. Ibra's last like 4 years, maybe.
Okay, guys, what do you think about Jorginho's Ballon d'Or push?
It's not there. It's not a trophy like count kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's not defeats the purpose, I think, right?
But in the UEFA team player of the season, right? The players that have been chosen are Jorginho, Kante, and De Bruyne. There's no Messi, no Lewandowski, no one. Out of these three guys, I'm guessing Ballon d'Or would probably end up going to one of these three as well. Because why would UEFA and it can't be I think so. And out of these three, who wins the UEFA Player of the Season?
Jorginho, but it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make. I feel like the sport has become so biased towards team achievements that individual performances are so underplayed. I think, but I think it's the reality of it. Like individual performances do depend on your team's achievements. So,
but for example,
like fair if you want it, right?
No, it's not unfair because does Messi's individual performance does that would be the second candidate, right? Is that really like? At that point, you're also partially does that not feel like you're giving it to him because it's Messi. I mean, he didn't win the league. He didn't win like the Champions League. He has the best stats, but like I don't know. Jorginho was a very important part of two very important titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's tough to make the argument that this biased team stats. I don't know.
But do you if you were to give who would you give the Ballon d'Or this year?
Thinking Jorginho, but like it just feels weird to say it.
Because I feel like this feels more weird than Modric winning the Ballon d'Or.
Feels more weird?
Yeah, it feels weirder than Modric.
Well, but Modric...
Yeah, so you go ahead.
I feel like Modric, okay, he deserved it, but he didn't actually deserve it that year, Ronaldo was the best player on that team. He didn't win. They didn't win the stuff because Modric was there as much as they wanted because Ronaldo was there. in this case, I get it more because both of the teams that won didn't have like a superstar player, right? They were
Yeah.
very much team focused. And Jorginho was one of the most important players in the teams. But like, shouldn't Lewandowski get a shout over him, or maybe Lukaku even? They did win titles, and like they score a lot of goals. They're probably more.
I think
significant
Lewandowski really deserves a shot. I think
right?
for me it would be Lewandowski.
Lewandowski and Lukaku definitely deserve it, but does that not also make the award like kind of like very striker biased? Because like Andres Iniesta and Xavi got so many nominations purely because like one, amazing players, right? And two, like they're part of very like clear winning efforts, winning La Liga, World Cup, Euros. I think like in the same way you can make that argument for Jorginho.
That's fair.
Right. Fair enough. I see that. Ooh, I
Because also Jorginho didn't have
down
a
the
single
line.
striker like Lukaku or Lewandowski, where it's like one guy is carrying. It's a
That is
spread out
true.
offense.
Yeah.
I can see 15 years down the line, these like some kids will go like they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Oh, Jorginho was better than Andres Iniesta. See, Jorginho won this. Oh, he won the
No.
Ballon d'Or. Andres Iniesta never won the Ballon d'Or." Ah,
No, that's like
it's annoying me.
I mean like Nikola Jokic won MVP, right? Because there just weren't many better candidates. I don't think like anybody will come back to me and be like, "Oh, he was better than Shaq." He was like,
Right.
Right. Fair enough.
no, I think.
Yeah, I think-
there's just some years where it's like there isn't one insanely like historically like impressive candidate.
Right. But I think
Also-
what?
Just on the basis that imagine how many assists Jorginho didn't get because he passed it to Werner, who was playing up top for Chelsea. So like maybe he does really deserve this, and we just don't see the stats because of the players he has.
I mean,
on
he
his
won
team.
the Champions League and Euros with like, well, obviously good and impressive teams, but like, you know,
Not the
nothing
best
like
team.
They won the favorites for
Exactly.
either of the tournaments.
Yeah.
They won the favorites for either of the tournaments. Yeah, I agree. I think I feel like I would personally give to Lewandowski, but I see the Jorginho push. I see the Jorginho push.
I didn't as like when we started this conversation, but I've been slowly like reasoning myself into realizing why it kind of makes sense.
Okay, no. Hear me out. Ballon d'Or, Phil Jones.
No,
Smart
he's
businessman.
he's past this point. Let the guy just do whatever he's doing, like sip margaritas or whatever he does right now.
Oh, but I got a good title for a podcast. Phil Jones.
Phil Jones
Ballon d'Or.
episode.
The Phil Jones special.
Oh my god.
Wait, actually, I am down to name it that. I'm good with that.
Oh, me too.
Alright, but I think what happened? Oh, they didn't score again. Yeah.
All right, with that, I think we should probably wrap up.
One last thing, just on a curious note, why is Klopp not wearing glasses anymore? And my God, does he look weird?
Oh yeah,
Have
he
you
looks
seen the
very
photos?
Looks so
yeah,
strange.
he looks so weird. Oh my
It
god.
feels like they switched him with someone else. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
he got LASIK, I think that's why.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's so weird. I think I have the same glasses at Klopp though.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
you need a cap.
You kind of
I
do,
mean,
yeah.
that's what we were talking about. But yeah, it's actually crazy. Damn. But yeah,
Schrader.
on that note, Klopp, buy to your glasses. Fans, no, not really fans. People, whoever.
All right. In that case, I'll probably see you guys next week, and I'll probably see Yashish in this week at some point.
Yeah, 100%. Fran, and we'll see you on my birthday.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.